It's a beautiful evening for a ceremony to send you guys out right tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Justin Stumball, the very proud principal of Los Fresnos High School. I would like to welcome you to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium for tonight's commencement ceremony for the mighty class of 2020. If you could please rise and remove all headgear for the playing of our national anthem and for the raising of our flag by Chief Carlos Marquez and Major David Arjona of our Los Fresnos NJROTC program. I ask you to please remain standing as I invite Ms. Kobe Arizmendi to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated.
And now, with the official welcome from the class of 2020, I invite up to the stage Ms. Sabrina Hinojosa.
Good evening, Los Fresnos family. I would like to take the time to welcome all teachers, staff, friends, and family to this celebratory event. It is with great honor that I stand before all of you today, delivering the welcome speech for the graduating class of 2020. These past few months have been challenging, to say the least, yet the Los Fresnos community has set an exemplary standard and continues to show unity as we gather under these stadium lights together. Despite the tragedy the world has encountered, tonight symbolizes the rest of our lives for the class of 2020. And this unique experience that has bonded us together has only made us more resilient in the face of a challenge. Our educational journey has been a defining characteristic in all of us. Each and every one of us has made some sacrifice to be here. Whether the sacrifice was a few hours of sleep to finish an assignment or skipping lunch to study for an exam. No matter the magnitude of our challenges, each of us has made that certain friendship or that certain memory that has made all the hardship worth it. Those late night bus rides after an away game, those unbearable practices shared with your teammates, those weekend nights, those rapping competitions you always claimed to have won. These points in your life where you felt true comfort in the people around you are the moments that will never fade away. Now, at the end of our high school journey, each of us will go our separate ways, yet years from now, We will never forget the memories we made at Los Fresnos High. Class of 2020, you did it. However, after tonight, I want to ask each of you to thank the people that allowed you to be in this position. Whether it be a teacher, staff member, family member, or friend, I know for a fact that we could have not achieved this alone. Mom, Dad, Abel, and Samuel, thank you for pushing me to be the best possible version of myself, and I cannot be any more grateful for the sacrifices you have made. With that being said, congratulations, class of 2020. I hope each of you are successful in your future endeavors, and I hope you enjoy this moment because you deserve it. Thank you.
To introduce our platform guest this evening, I invite to the stage Mr. Brendan Perez.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, it is my privilege to introduce our platform guests for this evening. We will begin with the Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees. President, Mr. Leonel Garza. Vice President, Ms. Sandra Garcia. Secretary, Mr. Ruben Trevino. Assistant Secretary, Mr. Martin Castillo. Member, Mr. Jesus Amaya. Member, Ms. Leticia Quintero. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gonzalo Salazar. Principal of Los Fresnos High School, Mr. Justin Stumbaugh. Thank you.
To offer the reflection to the class of 2020, I invite this year's salutatorian to the lectern, Ms. Alexandra Montes.
Good evening, everyone. Despite recent events, I'm glad we're all still able to celebrate the Los Fresnos graduating class of 2020. It's been a long, tough journey to get here today, so I want to look back at the path that brought us here. In elementary, we found our day one friends. They accepted us at our quirkiest and stuck by us through everything. They still do if you're lucky enough. Every day was full of fun at recess or in the library. Back then, we imagined ourselves being astronauts, rock stars, or heroes. Our little minds had big dreams, and our teachers inspired us to reach them. However, too soon, our days of endless possibilities were over. Next came middle school, where we started to find ourselves. We were given a hint of freedom and began to branch off into our interests. We explored activities and joined clubs or sports. As we figured out what we wanted to focus on, we found new groups of friends who had similar interests. Each of us began to have new ideas for our near future. Maybe it was to be in the band, become a part of a varsity team, join the mathletes, or become the next star. Whatever we chose, time quickly flew by in anticipation of what high school could bring next. Then, finally, we made it. High school brought back the idea of endless possibilities with all the opportunities available to us. Some of us splurged on the many activities, while others found solace in one or two. Now we have new ideas for our future based on our experiences. Each person we met along the way, every memory we have had has made us who we are today. The smallest choices made throughout our life has helped shape us. For me, something as simple as trying out for band for a free blizzard gave me the best friends and the best memories. As we face the world on our own and make decisions, we may imagine imagine new futures, and we will become new people. Hopefully, someday in the future, we will look back to now and realize how much has changed. But no matter what happens, we need to always remember who we are, who we were, and who we can be.
To share his words and the challenge to his classmates, I invite to the lectern Mr. Nicolas Valencia.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the Los Fresnos class of 2020. Let's give each other a hand, guys, come on. Primeramente quiero decir que estoy muy agradecido por mi familia, ayudarme a llegar a esta etapa. Te quiero mucho, mamá, y mi hermano Quique, que están sentados allá. Muchas gracias, los quiero mucho. Although our recent crisis is most unfortunate, we are all here together in order to finally celebrate our accomplishments. I come before you today to speak about challenges. Everybody has faced their own challenges in one way or another. We all come from different advantages, disadvantages, and tribulations. I have learned to not pity ourselves over these challenges, but rather be thankful because these experiences have shaped and molded us into the people that we are today. For instance, the Los Fresnos dress code and the various times that we all got called in for one reason or another. I know everybody can relate here, maybe sitting down. In my personal experience, it was either my shorts or facial hair, but that is besides the point. In all seriousness, the challenges of being a high school student can be overwhelming at times. Those late nights studying for the big test or finishing those last-minute assignments, along with the extracurricular activities most of us were a part of, can definitely be stressful. However, we have faced these challenges head-on and overcame these obstacles as we stand here today. To quote the wise words of Drake and Soulja Boy, we made it. Come on, guys. As many of you know, the moment that we leave the ceremony will be the beginning of our real journey, the beginning of our adult struggles. Everybody will face future challenges, whether they be self-imposed or something out of our control. The challenges and failures that we will face in the future are inevitable. The only thing that we can control is how we act accordingly. The one thing that I want to leave you with, my fellow classmates, is to not let the fear of failure stop you from persevering. Even though you may not be aware of this, most of you are experts at this. Hear me out on this one. As many of you may recall, the enforcement of no headphones in the hallway was something that most of us struggled with. You couldn't wear your headphones in the hallway because you were at risk that they would get taken away. However, a lot of you persevered through this circumstance because there was a small chance that you would be successful. You didn't let the times you had failed in this endeavor stop you from trying again and again until eventually you were able to finally walk with your headphones on and listen to your music for those short 4 minutes. I challenge you, my fellow classmates, to not let the fear of failure stop you from taking that leap in your future endeavors. The last thing you want to do in life is live in what-ifs and regret. Failure is okay and necessary on the path towards success. As Michael Jordan once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Take that same attitude that you use for your headphone wearing, not to wear headphones in the hallways, right? Use it for your success and happiness in life. Thank you, and congratulations to the Los Fresnos class of 2020.
And now to read the class poem, Mr. Antonio Martinez.
again. Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio Martinez, and today I'll be reading A Falcon Leaves Its Nest. As this poem is written from the warm light of my room, the memories come flooding back from elementary school. Christmas parties with as much junk food as we could eat, and taking spelling tests that would stress us out each week. But the exams and group projects have all led up to this. The goodbyes we shared today and the friends we made this year are all a part of one big chapter we're lucky to share. These falcon chicks are all grown up. It's time to leave the nest. So before we leave, it's time to celebrate what comes next. Written by Clarice Dudon, class of 2020.
And now, will the valedictorian for the class of 2020, Mr. Connor Sponsler, please join us on stage to read his words on aspirations.
Hello. First of all, I would like to say a few words. First of all, I would like to say a few words. Paradox, bubblegum, and circumference. Now for the speech. I want to begin by saying thank you to everyone that is here, both physically and virtually, for the students of the graduating class of 2020. No one here would have ever guessed the end of their final year in high school would play out like this. And I'm sure I speak for everyone here when I say thank you to the members of the school board for allowing us to have our graduation on the day it was originally planned. Honoring the seniors and, Their actions have honored the seniors and all we have gone through, both over the past 4 years and the past couple of months. As such an integral part of high school for any year, graduation represents the bittersweet reality of us moving on. For a while now, most of us have had a relatively concrete picture of what the next few years or so would be holding for us, moving year by year through school, surrounded by the people we have bonded with during that time. And while we all know that we are moving on from a large and meaningful chapter of our lives, we have all been waiting for the time when we could come together as a class and celebrate our mutual success. This year, however, our graduation represents more than a transition from one chapter of our lives to the next. Through the COVID-19 pandemic, our lifestyles have undergone dramatic changes. We've had to adapt to circumstances well out of our control in the forms of quarantine, online schooling, and social distancing. And this graduation represents our resilience, our ability to trust one another, and our ability to work together for the common good. Despite the challenges we have to face, we are making our way through them as a community, one day at a time. Even though most of us have some plan for what happens next, whether that be joining the armed forces, getting a job, or going to college, there is always uncertainty when the future is in question. All of us have expectations for how our stories will unfold, but none of us know exactly where they will take us. All of us have expectations of how our We do, however, know one thing, that wherever we go and whatever we do, it will be our actions that shape the future. The burden will be on us to make our world a better place, and I am confident that by working as a community and remembering all we've been through together, we can do just that. If our circumstances have taught us anything, it is that we are capable of making a difference. Whatever our specific aspirations may be, I hope that we can all keep that in mind as we discover our own futures. Despite the difficulties that are sure to come our way, our generation has the ability to change the world for the better, that we recognize that the power to make those changes comes from working together is what I aspire for the class of 2020. And finally, something Stephen Hawking once said comes to mind. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. When I look out at everyone tonight, I see what must then be one of the most intelligent classes to have graduated from Los Fresnos High School. Remember this as each of us heads off into the unknown. We all have the ability to achieve our greatest aspirations. Thank you all for your time and for this wonderful evening, and go Falcons!
To offer his words of appreciation from the class of 2020 is Mr. Javier Alvarez.
Good evening, faculty, parents, and class of 2020. Today, I want to acknowledge the people who have helped us reach this momentous achievement in our lives. It's been a long road getting here, and I feel that I can speak for all of us here when I say I would not have wanted to spend my time anywhere else. First off, I would like to take the time to appreciate all the staff here at Los Fresnos. Every part of our Falcon family has helped us through our journey to success. From the cafeteria workers all the way to administration, thank you. This year I know has been especially hard on all these individuals, and I thank them for keeping things moving and adapting to the new circumstances we unfortunately have had to undergo. Next, I'd like to thank the teachers, coaches, sponsors, and all other staff who have all taught us not only the lessons we need for college and further education, but also our life. Whether it was constant reminders to get our work done or asking the questions we needed to hear to find our passion in life, these people were there for us regardless of what was going on in their own lives. A teacher once told me something that pretty much sums up what every teacher aspires to be. Every day that I come in, I leave everything from my personal life behind, and I teach the best that I can and be the best I can for you guys. Thank you to all the teachers and staff that have somehow helped me throughout the years. And even to those that I did not encounter, I know that you are all working with the same ethic and compassion to help your students. Parents, you are the glue that have held us together. All these years of being honest all the time about different work deadlines that we may have, all leading up to this. I know that at the end of the day, anytime you would give us a hard time, it was for a reason. You always had our best interest in mind and didn't hesitate to sacrifice for us. We love you all and truly appreciate all that you do. Some of us are staying and some of us are leaving, but regardless of where we will always come back to you. You are a beginning and are forever, and that won't change because we leave to any school. Thank you, Mom and Dad, and thank you to all the parents of our class. Without you all, none of this would be possible. And finally, I want to thank all of my peers. There have been so many people throughout my life that have just been the best that I could have ever asked for. All the memories that I will cherish forever are because of you. To all of my friends, thank you. And to anyone who was ever a friend to anyone, thank you. We all kept each other afloat throughout these years, and it definitely would not have been fun without you all. To everyone, I say be glad that we are here. This is a huge moment in our lives and a step toward our future. Everything that has happened in your lives so far has been to shape you for your life's challenges ahead. Appreciate the people you have become and continue to always work to better yourselves. Congratulations, class of 2020, we made it.
At this time, it is with great honor that I recognize the following students for their personal commitment to their educational learning experience. A special recognition now goes to our class valedictorian, Mr. Connor Sponsler, and our class salutatorian, Ms. Alexandra Montes. Would you please join me on stage to receive your honor plaques? Let's give our valedictorian and salutatorian a great round of applause. At this time, would the top 5% of the senior class please stand, turn and face the audience to be recognized by all classmates and audience members. It is our pleasure to have your parents in honored seating tonight as well, because we know that much of your success has been due to their support. Could the top 5% parents please stand up and be recognized? Thank you, parents. At this time, would the top 10% of the senior class please stand, turn, and face the audience to be recognized by all classmates and audience members? Our top 5% students are wearing gold cords, and our top 10% students are being honored with the silver cords that you see them wearing tonight. Would the parents of the top 10% please stand and be recognized? Thank you, top 10%. At this time, would any member of the class of 2020 who has enlisted in the military please stand and turn and face the audience to be recognized by all classmates and audience members? Thank you for your commitment to protecting our country. Congratulations. Will the graduating seniors please stand? Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gonzalo Salazar, is with a great deal of pride that I present to you the members of the senior class of 2020. As high school principal, I certify that they have met all graduation requirements at Los Fresnos High School, and I recommend that they receive their diplomas.
Members of the Board of Trustees, parents, ladies and gentlemen, by the authority vested in me by the Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District and its Board of Trustees, I now declare and certify that the students about to be called have met all of the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Texas State Board of Education and the Los Fresnos CISD Board of Trustees and are deemed eligible for graduation from Los Fresnos High School. I hereby authorize that a diploma in testimony of having met these requirements be issued to each candidate for graduation, as they are entitled to all of the honors and privileges afforded to them as a Texas high school graduate. Congratulations to all of our graduates. You may now move your tassels to the left side. Congratulations.
Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. We'll make our way up to receive your diplomas. Tonight, we're going to do things a little different. We will be reading all members of the graduating class of 2020. We do know we have those here in person and we have those joining us virtually. So tonight, we will be reading all graduates of the class of 2020.
Connor Landon Sponsler. Alexandra Jo Montes. Javier Daniel Alvarez. Wilfredo Luiton Jr. Nicolás Valencia. Antonio Gabriel Martínez. Sabrina Marie Hinojosa. Kobe Arizmendi. Brandon Etienne Perez. Eileen Anzaldúa. Ana Alicia Barrera. Marie Samantha Barrera.
Tabitha Sarah Garcia. Andres Thomas. Emerald Jade Maciel. Manuel Santos Rocha. Diego Jesus Garza. Chloe Michaela Traskoskas. Mark Anthony Gracia. Janessa Celeste Leja. Maria Lauren Cantu. Selena Villa. Amy Gis Mireles Castellanos. Jacqueline Lucio.
Daniela Salazar. Alyssa Bujanos. Lisbeth Sosa. Emily Nicole Rodriguez. Karen Kucher Waters. Yareli Cordova. Abigail Tobar. Kyle Edward Ogao. Natalia Yaneli Calvillo. Giovanna Godoy. Alexander Pete Olguin.
Victoria Kathleen Maldonado. Kelly Alvarado. Anaí Martínez. Maya Evelyn Pérez. Melissa Sauceda. Janelle Ray Galvan. Violet Brianna Milton. Graciela Verónica Oliva. Nathan DeAndre Samano. Erin Leah Vidales. Marisa Bujanos.
Angela Marie Cantu. Devin Dirk Hunter. Marveli Neme. Isaac Noah Cortinas. Jacob Alexander Medina. Edward Joseph Pineda. Clarice Tudon. Matthew Otto Stelling. Aiden Alberto Jeffries Vega. Jocelyn Gaznares.
Juan Fernando Garcia. Vanessa Laris Campos. Charles Matthew Bush. Emmanuel Chavez. Adán Salazar. Eric Guardarrama. Jasmine Marie Maldonado. Ashlyn Faith Cisneros. Valeria Eileen Quintero. Andrea Nicole Foster.
Cassandra Canchola. Samantha Alejandra Islas. Thais Ariana Hernandez. Hania Martinez. Antonio Vargas Jr. Rebecca Marie Vargas. Skylar Patrick Heisey. Ian Philip Rodriguez. Roberto Figueroa III. Ashley Sarai Hernandez. Caitlin Candice Cruz.
Vivian Marie Wada. Juan Pablo Rocha. Adeline Nieto. Brianna Michelle Gracia. Grecia Alejandra Cano. Samuel Max De Leon. Michael Paredes. Karen Jimena Martinez. Ana Marie Rodriguez. Damian de la Cruz. Amanda Cruz.
Arturo Aceves Jr. Itzenia Itzel Acuna Quintanilla. Cesar Aguilar Jr. Andrea Aguilera. Destiny Alexis Aguirre. Marco Antonio Acosta. Adamali Aurora Alanis. Natalia Lee Alanis. Stephanie Danielle Alcala. Stephanie Abundis. Adam Damien Alcocer.
Bianca Belén Aguirre. Isaías de Jesús Almaguer. Aliyah Marie Acosta. Leah Michelle Acosta Guzman. Alexis Aguilar. Janella Nicole Aguirre. Ángel Alcalá. Abraham Alcocer Jr. Brian Alejandro Aldape. Victoria Faith Acevedo. Marjorie Diana Aguilar.
Ricky Altamirano. Kayla Larissa Almeida. Juan Mario Alvarez. Juliana Eileen Alviar. Lisette Saraí Amador. Carlos Enrique Ambrosio. Tomás Eduardo Andrade. Adrián Álvarez. Genaro Álvarez Jr. Adrian Ángeles. John Paul Anzaldúa. Stephanie Judith Araiza.
Juliana Altamirano. Catalina Montserrat Álvarez. Sebastián Álvarez. Alexis Adrian Amaya.
Alondra Ruby Arena Martínez.
Gabriela Michelle Andrews.
Eduardo Arturo Aranda Velasco.
Andrew Joseph Angeles.
Andrew Manuel Arredondo.
Brian Aparicio.
Ashley Nicole Aregoite de Leon.
Andrés Miguel Arellano Jr.
Hector Mario Ariola.
Cassidy Nicole Arellano.
Zoraya Lisette Ariola.
Marlene Arispe.
Abigail Paige Atkinson.
José Marcos Arredondo.
Santos Eduardo Atkinson Jr.
Christian Jacob Arredondo.
Tyler Nicholas Atkinson.
Stephen Ryan Atkinson.
Patricia Avila.
Aracelia Valderas.
Zaira Baez.
Kelly Samantha Lee Barnett.
Aliyah Barbosa.
Rogelio Barrera III.
Maya Drew Barnett.
John Christian Azocar.
Jose Abraham Banda Eligio.
Frank Isaac Amador.
Carson Raymond Barrientos.
Julio Cesar Amezcua.
Giovanni Alessandro Barron.
Brandon Aranda.
Alan Benitez.
Mirka Daniela Barrientos.
Angie Dana Bazan.
Kiera Lauren Barron.
Carla Maria Bocanegra.
Josafat Benavides.
Jacob Ethan Borders.
Alexandria Renee Bermudez.
Antonio Botello.
Manuel Bocanegra Jr.
Oscar Breton.
Angel Marybeth Branham.
Carla Anaí Briceño.
Ashley Roxanne Beltran.
Noah Alexander Bruce.
Luke Andrew James Bresson.
Jaden Thomas Burkett.
Isaí Briceño.
Josie Liseth Calderon.
Mónica Briceño.
Alan Jabed Camero.
Gavin Oz Bryan.
Barbara Kristen Canales.
Jacqueline Denise Bañuelos.
Aaron Carlo Cantu.
Lizette Capillo.
Ramiro Capetillo III.
Talgia Carey Borg.
Joe Cano.
Nathaniel Thomas Cantu.
Hector Javier Cárdenas Rodríguez.
Suheidi Cárdenas.
Anthony Ryan Carizales.
José Luis Casanova.
Michael Alexander Castellanos.
Ángel Luis Castillo.
Jathan Andrew Castillo.
Jasmine Castillo.
Nicholas Castillo Jr.
Jesús Alejandro Castillo.
Isaac Cavazos.
Marta Valeria Castillo de León.
Carlos Castro.
Devlin Nicole Castro.
Andrew Allen Cavazos.
Audrey Rose Gadriel.
Jacqueline Cervantes.
Garrett Logan Callison.
Mario Antonio Chapa Perales.
Donovan Rick Cavazos.
Hugo Chavez Jr.
Stephen Anthony Cepeda.
Gabino Collazo.
Michael Andrew Chapa.
Joseph Jonas Contreras.
César Miguel Carlos Reyes.
Andrés Coronado.
Ángel Chávez.
Abraham Isaiah Cortez.
Roberto Daniel Chavira.
Fernando Contreras Saldana.
Dustin James Contreras.
Ruby Angelica Cortez.
Luis Damián Contreras.
Ashanti Janae Covarrubias.
Adolfo Luis Coronado.
Jordi Gerardo Cruz.
Axel Gael Corpus.
Claudiana Anaí Cruz Garza.
Javier Alonso Cortés Jr.
Angelia Marie Cosumano.
Andrea Gabriel Cortés.
Alyssa Aira de Antunano.
José Alfredo Cruz.
Brianna Clarissa Nicole de la Garza.
Gabriel José Cuellar.
Sofía Adamari de León.
Michael Wayne de Agben.
Odalis Yamilet de los Santos.
José Ángel de los Santos.
Paulina Esperanza de Luna.
Ramón de los Santos Jr.
Humberto del Fierro III.
Leslie Elizabeth Delgado.
Armando Delgado Cortés.
Christian Joshua de los Santos.
Adriana Lisette Díaz.
Carlos Díaz.
Ingrid Domínguez.
Jaime David Domínguez.
Sergio Erizuris.
Abril Estrella Elizondo.
José Maximiliano Elizondo.
Gian Carlo César de la Torre.
Raúl Escamilla González.
Areli del Ángel.
José Israel Escobar.
Christian Emmanuel Enríquez.
Alexandra Marlene Espinosa.
Joshua Aaron Escamilla.
Dante Ricardo Esqueda Romo.
Priscilla Escobedo.
Ashlyn Vianney Esquivel.
Gerardo Esquivel.
Nicholas Alexander Estrada.
Job Daniel Esquivel Medina.
Manuel Nestor Esquivel III.
Tristan Isaiah Estrada.
Alexis Antonio Fernández Alarcón.
Katia Lisette Fernández.
César Joel Flores.
Oscar Fierro Jr.
Matthew Adrian Flores.
Irvi Herón Escandón.
Yahaira Flores.
Liliana Espinosa.
Edward Glenn Freeman.
Clarisa Marie Esquivel.
Abigail Itai Gallardo.
Sergio Eduardo Flores.
Carlos Ezequiel Fonseca.
Danielle Lee Galan.
Mariana Giselle Gallegos.
Ariadna Chantel Gallardo.
Aaron Alexis Gomez.
Cristina Galvan.
Carlos Antonio Garay.
Rolando Galvan.
Abdias Garcia Jr.
Stephanie Amber Figueroa.
Alexa Jennifer Garcia.
Jorge Dylan Gomez.
Angel Emmanuel Garcia.
Daniel Garces IV.
Christopher Garcia Jr.
Charlene Naomi Flores.
Bella Aisha Garcia.
Perla Ruby Flores Méndez.
Elias Mefiboset Garcia.
Amy Garcia.
Stephanie Sol Esther Garcia.
Aaron Miranda Garcia.
Gabriel Noel Garcia.
Brenda Ann Garcia.
Jasmine Denise Garcia.
Adriana Irene Garcia.
Eric Garcia.
Daniel Garcia.
Jonathan Garcia.
Everett Roman Garcia.
Kayla Garcia.
Jared Paul Garcia.
Miguel Ángel Garcia.
Jimena Eileen Garcia.
Mariana Garcia.
Cassandra Garcia.
Sebastian Isaiah Garcia.
Cameron Garcia.
Samuel Garcia.
Kylie Garcia.
Paul Daniel Garcia.
Itzel Guadalupe Garcia.
Victor Manuel Garcia.
Melanie Garcia.
Ana Patricia Garcia Cárdenas.
Nelia Nicole Garcia.
Angela Garcia Robledo.
Paulina Garcia.
Aide Guadalupe Garza.
Priscilla Michelle Garcia.
Aaron Ross Garza.
Samantha Garcia.
Andrea Garza.
Mayra Garcia Santiago.
Andres Santino Garza Jr.
Alisandra Victoria Garrido.
Carlos Antonio Garza.
Adrian Lee Garza.
Janelle Garza.
Amada Marie Garza.
Emiliano Garza.
Andrea Idali Garza.
Juan Ramon Garza Jr.
Alejandro Garza.
Monique Giselle Garza.
Jimena Cassandra Garcia.
Sabrina Marie Garza.
Ethan Garza.
Isaiah Matthew Garza.
Jack Daniel Garza.
Yuritzma Anaí Garza.
Mackenzie Lynn Garza.
Priscilla Garza.
Osvaldo Alonso Garza.
Mónica Godínez.
Ryan Mitchell Garza.
Natalie Betsabe Gomez.
Sarina Alexis Garza.
Karime Alexandra Gomez Aguirre.
Zachary Lamar Gibson.
Julissa Annette Gonzalez.
Nelisbeth Rangel Godoy.
Ariana Nisset Gonzalez.
Pedro Gomez III.
Brianna Eliseth Gonzalez.
Joseph Anthony Garza.
Destiny Gisted Gonzalez.
Cecilia Adriana Garza.
Felix Gonzalez.
Alexa Brianne Gonzalez.
Maria Guadalupe Gonzalez.
Ramon Gonzalez III.
Jacqueline Gonzalez.
Christopher Gonzalez.
Marcos Gonzalez.
Damián Gustavo Gonzalez.
Roberto Gonzalez.
Kayleen Eliana Gonzalez.
Yordi Gonzalez.
Ricardo Gonzalez Jr.
Elian Gonzalez Lara.
Alejandro Gonzalez Gonzalez. Jennifer Montserrat Gonzalez Palacios.
Jennifer Areli Gonzalez Camacho.
Luis Mario Gonzalez Cantú.
Eduardo Damien Gracia Robles.
Jocelyn Granado.
Maribel Alexis Guajardo.
Emiliano Gonzalez.
Roberto Gudino Jr.
Silvano Gonzalez Jr.
Derek Guevara.
Leroy Damián Guerrero.
Edgardo Giovanni Guifaro.
Christian Alejandro Guillén.
Gabriel Lee Gutierrez.
Gerardo Gutiérrez.
José Eduardo Guerrero.
Kayla Michelle Gutiérrez.
Javier Adolfo Gutierrez.
Joseph Guajardo Yado.
Lily Dolores Gutierrez.
Emilio Reinaldo Guzman.
Brandon Guadalupe Gonzalez.
Daniel Alejandro Guerra Mireles.
Gerardo Hernández.
Eric Guevara II.
Joel Hernández Jr.
Alexis Gabriel Hernández.
Alondra Liadanix Hernández.
Amber Silvia Hernández.
Marco Antonio Hernández Jr.
Jared Riley Hossman.
Natalie Alina Hernández.
Adam Haydam Hammond.
Rodolfo Hernández.
Eric Hernández.
Sarah Beth Guzman.
Gerardo Damián Hernández.
Selena Hernández.
Luis Jesús Hernández.
Efraín Hernández Jr.
María Fernanda Hernández.
Christopher Herod.
Nisa Chrissy Hernández.
Michael Anthony Huerta.
Roberto Hernández Jr.
Louis Prince Hall Jr.
Roberto Hernández Jr.
Abigail Arabella Ibarra.
Francisco Javier Herrera Zamora.
Damian Bravo.
Ashlyn Shalene Hinojosa.
Ashley Lynn Ibarra.
Joe Nieves Hernández Jr.
Christian Anthony Jimenez.
Samuel Hernández III.
Brenda Lucero Jimenez Perez.
Adrian Ibarra.
Seth Alexander Infante.
Iliana Ibarra.
Sierra Nicole Jones.
Claudia Daniela Izaguirre.
David Reagan Kretz.
Luis Ángel Jiménez.
Paola Marianne Landin.
Jonathan Michael Jones.
Julio Cesar Laresquito Jr.
Samantha Justilian.
Diego Ledesma.
América Guadalupe Lara.
Caleb Ryan Leal.
Annette Michelle Lara.
Victor Armando Leos.
Ana Marcela Lara.
Abigail Jonte Licona.
Melissa Rose Laureano.
Adalida Maria Loera.
Joseph Adrian Leal.
Joshua Guadalupe Loera.
Arlef Alejandra Ledesma Olvera.
Alondra Victoria Lopez.
Natalie Nicole Leos.
Deandra Lee Lopez.
Jorge Rolando Lerma Jr.
Kaylani May Lopez.
Carlos Alberto Lizama.
Whitney Nicole Lopez.
Ian Alejandro Loera.
Alan Josue Lozano.
María de Jesús Lomas.
Luis Adrián Lozano.
Alía Monique López.
Diana Gabriela Lucio.
Damian López.
Armando Javier Luna.
Jennifer Dora López.
Jacob Saúl Macías.
Shirley Ann López.
Jonathan Misael Magana.
Yira Kireni López Alfaro.
Javier Maldonado Calderón.
Darielis Lozano.
Maria Fatima Oclamid Manoganas.
Victor Lozano Jr.
Marin Guillermo III.
Carlos Alejandro Lucio.
Angel Martinez.
Ethan Luis Macias.
Joseph Anthony Martinez.
Gabriela Iván Maldonado.
Gerardo Martinez Jr.
Ángel Antonio Macías.
Julio Cesar Martinez.
Heidi Sujei Manterola Hernández.
Marianne Martinez.
América Nelia Martínez.
Catherine Martinez.
Areli Martínez.
Alejandro Martinez Garcia.
María Elena Martínez.
Amber Dawn Massey.
Michael Jonathan Martínez.
Yolani Martinez.
Andrés Martínez.
Brianna Selena Matt Gomez.
Victor Martínez Cuevas.
Felicia Faith Medina.
Andrés Mascorro.
Justin Abraham Martinez Olivares.
Dianira Mata.
Mariano Guadalupe Mejía.
Juan Pablo Mayorga Castro.
Ashley Juliana Medrano.
Jacqueline Medina.
Georgie Melejon Jr.
Carlos José Medrano.
Paulina Melendez.
Nayali Talia Meléndez.
Armando Méndez.
José Manuel Méndez.
Salvador Damian Méndez.
Jasmine Marie Medina.
Horacio Méndez Aguilar.
Marta Melissa Mejia.
Roberto Mendoza.
Joel Menchaca Jr.
Alexis Vianney Miranda.
Jaylee Mendez.
Sebastian Uriel Mercado.
Maleni Mendoza.
Joanna Mireles.
Mirta Becky Mendoza Diaz.
Gilberto Montalvo III.
Brandon Michael Miranda.
Juliana Alexandra Montelongo.
Fidel Enrique Molina Jr.
Alfredo Miguel Mora.
Jocelyn Montelongo.
Abraham Montes.
Jasmine Yamileth Montes.
Jesús Alfonso Morales.
Christian Giovanni Montiel.
Francisco Javier Mora.
Darren Isaiah Mora.
Sebastian Gustavo Moreno.
Ernesto Josué Mejía Duque.
Sarah Noemi Morillon.
Hector Omar Mora.
Ashley Guadalupe Muniz.
Paola Morales.
Jesús Elías Muñoz.
Emily Moreno Holguín.
Rodrigo Nieto Jr.
Giovanni Moreno.
Lindsay Eileen Nolasco.
Paola Berenice Morua.
Sergio Ociel Obispo Alberto.
Ashley Muñoz.
Carolina Ochoa Palacios.
Valerie Muñoz.
Antonio Olvera Jr.
Alexia Nicole Niles.
Alberto Ortega Jr.
Jacqueline Marie Noyola.
Alejandro Ortiz Jr.
María Fernanda Obispo Lovato.
Jocelyn Michelle Ortiz.
Luis Andrick Ochoa Montero.
Clarisa Oyervirdes.
Logan Cruz.
Samuel Parga.
Brianda Liseth Orende Gomez.
Leslie Michelle Patino.
Sergio Ortiz Jr.
Alexis Marie Pedraza.
Randy Mendieta.
Ashley Pena.
Alexandra Nicole Ortiz.
Joseph Pena.
Francisco Pasament Jr.
Giovanna Pena.
Gustavo Emiliano Palomo.
Carlos Daniel Perez.
Emilio Paz Conde.
Heriberto Perez Jr.
Ana Rebecca Peña.
Juan Manuel Perez Jr.
David Lee Peña Jr.
Talia Diane Perez.
Ángel Eduardo Pérez.
Jorge Ariel Pérez Salazar.
Brian Adán Pérez.
Matthew Ryan Peterson.
Ramón Abdad Peña Jr.
James Peter Peroni.
Brian Josué Peralta.
Kevin Ponce.
Israel Pérez.
Yamilet Portales.
Mauricio Pérez.
Juan Ángel Pinales Jr.
Zenaida Monique Pérez.
Ramiro Quintero III.
Arturo Pisania Jr.
Emily Hannah Ramirez.
Kobe Stone Portales.
Jesus Adrian Ramirez.
Sebastián Noble Quijas.
Michael Ray Ramirez.
Tony Denise Quintero.
Octavio Adolfo Quiñones Mesa.
Jennifer H. Ramirez.
Riori Santana Ramirez.
Josifredo Ramirez.
Cynthia Magali Ramirez de la Rosa.
Ricardo Ramirez.
Edui Leonardo Rangel Hernández.
Samantha Ramirez.
Edwin Noé Rangel Hernández.
Michael Joseph Ramirez.
Kayla Abigail Rea.
Carla Rangel.
Sergio Alejandro Restrepo.
Humberto Daniel Rea.
Destiny Orlean Reina.
Humberto José Rea.
Leah Jean Reynolds.
Cristina Recio Rodríguez.
Candice Rios.
Alonso Jesús Requeña Guzmán.
Luis Alberto Rios Jr.
Reba Lynn Reyes.
David Alexander Rivera.
Yahaira Reina.
José Luis Rivera Galván.
Adolfo Rincón Jr.
Anderson Beckham Rocha.
Jesús Roberto Reyes Ramírez.
Yomara Rocha.
William Cameron Rivera. Carlos Robledo. Arlette Marie Rocha.
Ana Leticia Rodríguez.
Albert Santos Rodríguez. Anthony Santos Rodríguez.
Ashley Marlene Rodríguez.
América Rodríguez.
Denzel Isaiah Rodriguez.
Brandon Giovanni Rodriguez.
Henry Rodriguez.
Joseph Antoine Rodriguez.
Luis Carlos Rodriguez Jr.
Kiera Rodriguez.
Karen Nayeli Rodriguez.
Michael Aaron Rodriguez.
Michael Joseph Rodriguez.
Ricardo Rodriguez Jr.
Rebecca Rodriguez.
Paloma Rodriguez.
Roman Luke Rodriguez.
Ruben Damian Rodriguez Jr.
Sarah Noel Rodriguez.
Stephen J. Roque.
Adalberto Rodriguez Garza Jr.
Christian Ray Rubio.
Daisy Lily Rosas.
Esneideb Anareli Ruiz.
Dulce María Ruelas.
Patricia Nicole Ruiz Rivas.
Clara Yarixa Ruiz Contreras.
Kaylee Monique Salazar.
Valdemar Rubalcaba.
Rolando Salazar Cisneros.
Raúl Salazar III.
Giselle Salcedo.
Isabela Salazar Guillén.
Eduardo Saldaña.
Hector Salcedo.
Brian Salinas.
Melanie Saldana.
Kayla Rose Saldierna.
Valeria Anaí Saldivar Buenrostro.
Ruby Guadalupe Salinas.
Eleazar Salinas III.
Julieta Dinef Salinas Jonitud.
Jessica Rodriguez.
Alexa Sanchez.
Diana Janelle Sanchez.
Ruben Anthony Sanchez.
Jonathan Anthony Sanchez.
Christian Ivan Sanchez Sanchez.
Stephanie Sanchez.
José Alfredo Sandoval.
Antonio Valentino Aldrigueri.
Josué David Santibáñez Jr.
Melanie Clarice Sandoval.
Quincy Taylor Schwab.
Joseph Brendan Santana. Stephen Joseph Brendan Santana.
John Howard Sevier III.
Brenda Benita Santos.
Michael Alexander Sandoval.
Edgar Alejandro Sauceda.
Esteban Salinas Gonzalez.
Brenda Sepúlveda.
Denise Edette Cifuentes.
Edwin Segovia Gutierrez.
Julio Cesar Cias.
Obed Iván Sepúlveda.
Itzel Silva.
Diana Nailiam Silva de la Garza.
Yamil Solis.
Aram Solis.
Sean Martin Simon Jr.
José Ángel Soya Orozco.
Desiree Nicole Sordia.
Fabian Herman Sosa.
Rigoberto Sosa Jr.
Anthony Michael Saucy.
Jacqueline Sosa.
Cassandra Sigala.
Alexandra Giselle Soto.
Denise Valerie Soto.
Jonathan Soto.
Mario Sierra II.
Michael Ray Strong.
Karen Soto.
John Tyler Thies.
Cassandra Cynthia Thompson.
Alberto Eugenio Torres.
Kayla Alexis Tobar.
Isabella Nicole Torres.
Dominic Torres.
Kevin Guadalupe Torres Duarte.
Juan Carlos Torres.
Lourdes Isabel Trejo.
Pedro Alberto Torres Jr.
Lisette Lee Treviño.
Adán Mendieta Trejo.
Jonathan Luke Troncoso.
Christopher Aaron Trevino.
Juan Uribe.
Humberto Trinidad.
Dante Cruz Valdez.
Claudia Guadalupe Uribe.
Kelly Torres.
Gloria Itzel Valdez.
Alberto Treviño.
Ángel Everardo Valero.
Judith Jacqueline Valdez.
John Daniel Vara Silva.
Lynette Iraíz Valles.
Lydia Susana Vasquez.
Matthew Patrick Vasquez.
Angel Antonio Vega.
Juan Manuel Vega.
Peter Ryan Vasquez.
Mark Anthony Sergio Velázquez.
Erica Michelle Velador.
Amber Monique Villarreal.
Samuel Isaí Vera.
Shania Villarreal.
Minerva Cassandra Vidal.
George Michael Worrell II.
Carlos Eduardo Villarreal.
Brianna Lizette Zamora.
Enrique Guillermo Villarreal. Enrique Humberto Villarreal. Rodolfo Villarreal Jr. Karen Areli Zambrano. Vincent Van Vo. Adrián Zúñiga. Aitza Giselle Samaripa.
All right, to offer the words of farewell to the class of 2020, will Mr. Wilfredo Luiton please join me on stage?
Remember your very first day of school. If you were like me, you sobbed in tears once your parents had to leave you in the class. Now, fast forward into your first day of middle school. We made new friends and explored new extracurricular activities. We were told many times that we had to start focusing on our future. At the time, many of us did not understand why teachers would talk about high school and college to middle school kids. We thought we had all the time in the world left to worry about our future. And strangely enough, we used to feel grown up even if we were just silly teens. Now, remember your very first day of high school. We felt so cool finally going to school without uniforms. Once again, we made even more friends. The only difference now was that the time to our last 4 years of school was on countdown. Of course, we still had the same mentality that we had the time to worry about our future. We were too busy worried about our outfit for the next day or what classes we could get to be with our friends. All of a sudden, our freshman year flew, and then our sophomore year, and we were down to the last 2 years of high school. Now we had to worry about things like college admissions exams, our resume, due enrollment or AP classes, and job interviews. Our responsibilities grew quickly, and we had to try our best to adapt to them. Before we knew it, we were seniors in our last months of school. As much as we wanted to slow down the time, we are now at an end. But do not see this as a farewell, but rather as a new beginning to our future. As the years went by, we got to experience many first moments. Soon enough, we will have our first day in college or our first day in our new job. But before that, take a moment to breathe and be proud of yourself. Even though this was not the ending we expected, cherish these moments with your family and friends because one day they will just be memories. Parents, teachers, and all who supported us along the way, thank you. We would not be here without your constant effort throughout the years. And finally, congratulations, class of 2020. We made it. Y para concluir, nomás quería decir, gracias a todos los que nos han soportado durante los años escolares, no estuviéramos aquí sin ustedes. Que Dios los bendiga.
At this time, will everyone please stand as I invite Miss Eileen Anseldua to the stage to lead us in the alma mater. Eileen is going to be joined by two of her classmates who are in the Falcon Choir, Miss Daisy Rosas and Miss Sierra Jones.
Voices
Graduates' parents, you may be seated. At this time, I would like to thank all teachers, administrators, counselors, parents, guardians, and relatives who are here tonight and have made an impact in the lives of our graduates throughout their educational journey. Each one of you has been instrumental in leading these young men and women to new heights, which is culminating here at their graduation from Los Fresnos High School. Tonight, one chapter of their lives is closing, but a very important and exciting one is about to be opened. This new chapter in your life can be as successful and as exciting as you want it to be, and I have no doubts that the class of 2020 will continue to bring great honor, not only to their families, but to the community of Los Fresnos. Tonight, our graduates here are responsible for bringing in over $24 million in scholarship offerings. Awesome job, class of 2020. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Los Fresnos High School, we congratulate you on this special night. As our Commissioner of Education said, there is no other graduating class in American history that will have the same story as you. Class of 2020, you have adapted and overcome circumstances out of your control, and I know these lessons you have learned will no doubt lead you to the successful path of your life's choosing. You will make your mark on the world, and we love you, and we are proud of you. There are many people to thank for putting on a ceremony such as this: administration, counselors, and I have to say our maintenance department and Mr. Dale Parker, you made this place look great. So thank you so much for your hard work. Please give them a round of applause. Without these people working behind the scenes of this event, it would not be possible. So congratulations, class of 2020. And as always, go Falcons! At this time, we have a very special serenade for our graduates and their family by our very own LFHS Mariachi Halcon. We are part of a culturally rich area, and this has been to the advantage in this diverse world we live and in which they enter. The tune selected is one with a special meaning. La Golondrina is symbolic in its story of the departing swallow whose flight takes it off into the sky without knowing where it will lead. But the swallow always knows that it has a home to return to if it chooses. And so on our special tribute for our Falcons as they fly away off into the world, but knowing that LFHS will always be their home, I proudly present to you our Mariachi Nuevo Halcon, led by Mr. Hector Bermea and Mr. Rafael Gaucin.
De aquí se va, si allá en el cielo se halla extraviada, buscando abrigo y no lo encontrará. Junto a mi pecho yo le pondré su nido en donde pueda la estación pasar. También yo estoy en la región perdida, oh cielo santo, y sin poder volar. Adiós, adiós, mi tierna golondrina, te vas muy lejos. Adiós, adiós.
Parents, please join us in cheering and congratulating our students as they exit the stadium to the music of pomp and circumstance. We have a special request that our family members remain sitting and applaud our graduates as they leave the stadium. We ask you for your patience as we allow our graduates to leave the field. Once all graduates have left the field, we will dismiss you by section and you may make your way to your vehicles. As a reminder, no one will be allowed to congregate on the field or in the parking lot after the ceremony. We thank you for your patience and your support as we celebrate our graduates. Congratulations, class of 2020.